Hey YouTube, this is Silver Lightsaber, and as we all know, if you're watching this, you love superhero films. I love superhero films. They're enjoyable, especially for people who enjoy the source material, myself included. Now, one superhero in particular is incredibly hard, no pun intended, to bring to the screen. For one reason or another, these films just have a hard time being accepted by the masses. And of course, the hero I'm talking about is a very, very legendary comic book character, but a not so smooth transition onto film. I'm of course talking about the Incredible Hulk. Now in this video I want to talk about the 2003 Hulk and the new Incredible Hulk of 2008. Now to start this off, I want to take you back to 2003. Spider-Man had just come out in summer 2002, and everyone was excited. Everyone was so pumped up for what the next superhero phenomena was going to be on film. Everyone waited and waited, and finally we got to see this really cool Hulk trailer. We saw Bruce Banner in front of a mirror, talking very calmly, very nervously, and then all of a sudden he hulks out. We never even get to see the Hulk, which made us want to see the film even more. So everyone was excited. And it was marketed very well. Everybody was excited about it to some degree. I was excited about it. I thought it was going to be almost as big as Spider-Man. Of course not as big, but close. The marketing was there, the hype was there, everything was there. The commercials and the TV spots marketed it as kind of an action-adventure like Spider-Man was. But the film itself was very different. The film was slow-paced, very dramatic, and, well, you know it just like I do. There are just so many things up with it that people either like or they don't like. This film really is, you either love it or you leave it. I have mixed emotions about it personally, but the things that I do like about it is the cast. I have no qualms against the cast. The cast did a good job with the material they were given. It's like they always say, you can't make a good movie with a bad script, and that's what Hulk was. It was a bad script. But the cast was very good. Sam Elliott did a great job as General Ross. He was menacing, and the voice always gets me. The voice of characters are always one thing that wins me over pretty easily. I just love Samuel Elliott's voice. And Eric Bana, he's another guy with a cool voice. But other than that, he was in character, he was serious, and he was believable as this Bruce Banner with a serious problem. Inner angst. We could read that by how he played this character. And Jennifer Connelly played Betty Ross. She also did a good job. I liked her performance. I haven't seen her in much other than Labyrinth. I don't really know much else that she's been in. Oh, and Requiem for a Dream. But she's an excellent actress and she did a good job. Now, the actors aside, the main problem with this movie was story. The story was incredibly long, dragged on horrendously, and it just focused too much on inner angst, which is a key component to the Hulk mythos, but you shouldn't center an entire film around nothing but that. You can make it work. You can put that element in a superhero film and make it work. There are superhero films, successful ones in the past, that have done that. Spider-Man did that. Batman Begins did that. Superman Returns did that. Depends on who you ask, whether it worked or it didn't. There you go. Superhero films do this, and it either works or it doesn't. My personal opinion, you can have this element, but you can't focus too much on it, because otherwise the story will be too depressing and it will drag on. In my opinion, that's what happened with Superman Returns. Anyway, that was the big problem with Hulk. The story just dragged on, and some of the elements of the story were pretty silly. A lot of people have problems with the poodles. You know, at the time, I didn't have a problem with it, but looking back, yeah, that was kind of ridiculous. And another big problem people have or the CG effects for Hulk. Now, it was 2003. CG was not what it is today. So you can't hold too much of a grudge, but I understand where people are coming from. They wanted to see their Hulk look less Shrek-like. I completely agree. Hulk did look kind of lame in certain shots. But other shots, he looked like Hulk. He looked like the way he was supposed to look, just not as real as we would have liked. But that's not the movie maker's fault. That they were just working with the technology they had at the time. But my biggest problem with it, more than anything else, was the director, Ang Lee. Anytime a movie goes wrong, I always point the finger immediately at the director. In this case, was Ang Lee. Now, what's funny is that Ang Lee did not have any background in comic books, did not grow up with comic books. The only reason they hired him was because he was a successful director and an Academy Award-winning director with Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. So they're like, oh, we got an award-winning director on our movie. It should be huge. Wrong. This is a guy that directed Hulk, a supposed blockbuster, which financially it was, but critically, no. But anyway, 2 years later after he directs Hulk, a huge missed opportunity, he directs another film that was also a critically acclaimed success, called Brokeback Mountain. Yeah. The guy that directs Hulk, one of the manliest superheroes, if you will, 2 years later directs Brokeback Mountain. I don't think I need to say any more than that. So, my biggest beef is with the director. Also, the ending was very unclimactic. It was very strange. The fight scene... Hulk did not get the types of fight scenes we want to see Hulk in. We want to see Hulk smash. Just like in the new Incredible Hulk. It had that. It had the fight scenes that we would expect from a Hulk movie. It wasn't depressing. It wasn't dark. You can make Hulk dark, but not too dark. This Hulk was too dark. I liked where they were trying to go, and I've gotten into arguments with people before by saying this, but I don't care. I like where Hulk was trying to go, the direction it was trying to go in. Take Hulk very seriously, make it kind of a psychological drama in some ways, and I liked that. But it just went about it the wrong way, I feel. The pace was nowhere near as fast as it should have been. It was way too slow paced for a superhero film. It lost the audience very quickly. They lost interest. I remember being in the theater and people were asleep. That's bad. You should not see people asleep in a Hulk movie. Hulk should be smashing things left and right. That's just bad. And yeah, but there are things good and bad about this movie. Overall, I look at it as a huge, huge missed opportunity because looking at it retrospectively, it just left a huge black cloud over the new Incredible Hulk. And I feel that's the biggest reason why the new Incredible Hulk did not do as well as it should have. It had nothing to do with the new movie. The new movie was excellent. The script was there, the actors were there, the story was there. The only thing that was missing was the huge hype that the first movie had. But it was because the masses were so disappointed with the first movie that I think that the studio didn't really know how to market this new movie as big and as huge and as epic as they did the first. Because fans would have either loved it or hated it. Most of them would have hated it because they would have thought it was an extension of the first film. And when you have such a flop of a first movie and then you're rebooting it in the short amount of time, like a few years later, it's hard to get off the ground and for audiences to accept. It happened with Batman Begins. Batman Begins could have been a lot bigger than it was. It was still big, but it could have grossed a lot more money. But Batman and Robin was so god-awful that I understand completely why it wasn't the monumental success that it was. Same thing we saw here. But anyway, check out part 2, where I'm going to talk about the new Incredible Hulk on the video response. Thanks.